Okay, thank you for inviting me. Let's see today's subjects. I would like to start by making an apologize. I went here in a suit, but I didn't feel so comfortable, so I actually went down to the mall and bought a hoodie. And I just want to check if that's okay with you. So, thank you. And actually, this is what co-creation is about, because it's involving people and involving the crowd and get input on what you wear and what you do. And here's actually a description from the net of open co-creation. And the important thing here is that you cannot rely on your own ideas and your own innovation. You need output from the crowd, from the customers. I've heard Google Glasses before. They start in a small group and they take input, and that's very, very important in the future. Here's just a page. There are different platforms. I think there are some other platforms. Facebook have one, and one is called Wild Ideas. And you can actually see, if you're a company, you can put things in this web page, a platform for open innovation and co-creation. And you can ask questions or put challenges. Perhaps you might be wondering, what could you code with a drone? And you want input from the crowd. Then if you click, you get a lot of input. I showed one of them, what you can code with a drone. You can actually have kind of different ideas, what you can do with it. Here's one that can say, we can windsurf with a drone. So we get a lot of input, because it's, as I said, very important to get the public's opinion in this part. We also have a project, if I relate to RISE and SICS in Linköping, we digitize Swedish industry. And we actually work with co-creation with coaches which are digitizing the companies. They share experiences, and they come up with different ideas which all the companies can use. So my view of co-creation is involvement, to use diversity, use your networks, and if you like, also use the platforms. So if you would like to co-create with RISE, I can also recommend you to check out this association, ICT Sweden. It's from the industry in ICT area, which are giving input and co-create. And if we move on to open innovation, here's also a very long description. I don't want you to read it. But the main important thing here is that you cannot rely on your own research. You cannot invent everything in your company. As we heard before, you need to buy new solutions from other companies, small, niche companies. But you also need to realize things that you have in your own company. It could be patents, ideas that can come in use in society. So open innovation is kind of getting and knowing what you would like to get out. And this session here will be a bit disruptive. Right now, we'll do a small experiment. I would like to co-create with you, if that's okay. I have also a question. How many of you have been doing co-creation before? Can you raise your hands? Not so many. I need this for my research. Okay.
All open source projects do co-creation.
Yeah. That's perfect. And there are two things we need when we're going to do innovations and co-creation. Can you think of what I'm looking for? Here's one thing. Actually, in society, we're so automated, just acting on emails, replying, so we forget to think. We don't think enough. Here's some things that you maybe do. I don't know if you throw your milk away at the middle of the night when it's expiring. And you need to consider if you're actually in charge of your actions. So to do innovation and co-creation, we need thinking. But we also need one more thing. We also need to reboot our brains. Because you maybe heard of it. Some companies, they use 20% of the time to do something else. You cannot work with your ordinary duties. And why is that? Is it to get new innovations? No. Every Friday, when people come to work, they need to actually think, what shall I do today? So actually, they are rebooting their brain each week to start thinking again. So I would like us to reboot our brains so we can start this session with co-creation and innovations. But we also need disruption. We need to be disruptive. Because in the world today, normal things aren't interesting. We need new solutions, disruptive solutions, and we need a new thinking. So my question to you here is, how can we become more disruptive? Any suggestions? I can give you a disruptive suggestion. We could check the next slide. And actually, you get a lot of help by questioning everything. I was at the bathroom here before, and I questioned, I'm always so mad at this toilet paper. You never know which way it should go. So why cannot the producers of the disposer just put a sign, here's the end of the paper, so you know which one, you need to roll it. And I don't know if you have the same problem, but I'm getting very annoyed with this. And actually, if you look at home, then you have traditional things and solutions that are very old. And if you try to, I give you 3 clues. I found this old tradition solution I had at home. And for 3 points, can anyone guess what it is? No? I'll give you one more clue. It's very old, 400 years. It's a solution we still have at home. No, one more. This is the worst one. We get our information from a 400-year-old solution. I think really we should need something about this. And the answer? Yes. The mailbox. Yeah. Should it look like this? My bills and my newspaper is digital. Why should I need a mailbox? And how can we? Yeah, now we're starting to create. Yes, very co-creative here. Any more ideas here? What can we use the mailbox for? I have some help on the next slide, but I would like you to think. Use your disruption. Perfect. Yeah. Maybe we can use it to receive or send packages. You know, the shared economy, circulating economy. Can we deliver packages? Or maybe daily fresh food. Right now you have a very long way for the food to come to your place, but maybe it could be, maybe look, yeah, this is a dipper type, like this. Or maybe it should look like this. If you're a student, perhaps you would like a mailbox like this. So, yeah, so I will leave this to you to figure out. And let's move to my last session. And who is owning your ideas right now? We had some suggestions. I can take this and start my company, and I'm very happy to do this. Any suggestions? Who owns your ideas now? Everybody. Yes, everybody. That's very good. So actually, if you don't know the rules, you lose. You need to put attention on agreements, on terms. When you're going to these public platforms, you need to actually look, what does it say? What's happening with my inventions? We have co-projects with scientists. What happens if we have patents or inventions? How shall they be shared? And why is this important? Because you share more and more values outside your company, outside your project. This is becoming more and more important in the shared and the co-creation economy, social. And you also need a strategy. You need to actually put a strategy, what to protect and what to make public. That's the first thing you should do. And here are some things you can think of. Actually, data is so valuable right now. Ingrid said here it's more valuable than oil. And you can just see Google and Facebook and all these companies, they aren't producing any data. They're using your data. So as a citizen, you're actually giving away enormous values. But as a company, you can gain a lot. So I just want to mention an example at RISE here, where we made a co-creation and started a company, a spin-off within IP, which is co-owned by RISE, Acreo, the scientists, and Linköping University. I leave you with 3 small reminders here. Get involved, question everything, and get the IPR strategy. And don't forget to be active. Thank you.
Thank you, Niklas. Do we have any question?
I have a question.
Yes.
I was thinking about one of the slides you said, what should we make public and what should we protect?
Yes.
But I think there is missing one piece. What should we keep a secret?
Yes.
Because if you protect, you make it public. Because if you take a patent, it's public.
Yeah, regarding to patents, you really need to think, because if you're patenting, then it's public. And if you have, like Coca-Cola, they don't have a patent, but some things you need to keep a secret. But the most important thing that you know, what should you keep a secret and what can go public. So the distinguishing between those two are very important.
Good. Another question.
SICS is now part of RISE, so you have access to a lot of other institutes who are connected to many more industries than traditionally. Has this resulted in open innovation for you?
Yes, actually, I think what we succeeded with RISE is that the wall, the old Berlin Wall, has fallen. And I can see more collaborations between the different divisions and parts and the companies. And I think that's key. I think that's the future. And yes, it's happening. I can assure you that. And also in society, it's strengthening us very much.
I agree. It's happening.
Yes.
And I was also having, we have some good news because this is again about IPR and patents. It's quite a tricky question. So the good news is that you are going to look further into that. Yes.
I'm not a researcher, actually. I have 1 foot in industry and 1 foot in the academia. Iron in the fire. And actually, I'm intending to do some research about copyright. I think the copyright doesn't work in the digital world. We have patents, we have copyrights, design patents, and brands. Sorry. And these 4 are created in the physical world. Now we have the digital world. And we try to adapt these 4 things in the digital world, but it doesn't work. So you actually need, as I said with the mailbox, these things are the mailbox. They really need to be taken care of in the digital world.
That's great, and we're looking forward to follow you
in
your trip there. Okay, so now the question is, where do you make your impact?
I choose the red one, and I would like to motivate it with, I think we put too much effort on the numbers. We have the GMP, and we see if the society goes well, but I think we should care more about well-being, because if we produce 50% increased GDP, and it comes from the hospital, I'm not sure if the people are feeling so much better. So I think you should be happy going to work, have a happy life, and try to do more well-being. So, the red one.
Good. Thank you very much.